What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video as the New York Jets add a corner to their practice squad. The Jets are very banged up at the defensive back position after some injuries in the Buffalo Bills game, and they add some depth. So the New York Jets signed defensive back Nik Needham to their practice squad, and they released Harrison Mevis. No, the thicker kicker. It was a fun run for Harrison Mevis. Unfortunately for him, after they brought in Nick Folk, the writing was kind of on the wall there. Nick Folk will be the kicker. Who knows what ends up happening? Maybe Mevis finds his way back at some point in the future. But for now, the New York Jets have decided to add veteran Nik Needham, who I might remind you, Brian Flores gave him the superstar nickname. The context of that, he was fighting to make the team, the Miami Dolphins, in 2019 as a UDFA. And Brian Flores was like, he was getting some praise, Needham was, from the media on social media. And they're like, they're going to make you a superstar with the praise that he was getting. I don't know if he ever actually was a superstar, but he did start some games for the Miami Dolphins, mostly from 2019 through 2021. He started in Miami and is really a slot corner. And unfortunately for him, in October of 2022, he suffered a torn Achilles, which allowed him to only appear in 16 games from 2022 to 2023. But I think of him as a versatile piece. He could play slot. He's played some outside corner. He's also played some safety. But his best and most consistent position has been at slot corner. In fact, he actually had a pretty good preseason with Cleveland this past year. He didn't end up making their team, but did leave a good impression, had an interception against the Panthers in week 1 of the preseason, and allowed just 1 catch on 3 targets for 1 yard. His best year was probably 2021, where he had a 72.2 reception percentage against, 448 yards, no touchdowns allowed, and 2 interceptions. He has 6 career interceptions. He picked off Sam Darnold in one of those, I believe it was 2020, and has 27 career starts under his belt. A pretty short tackler also. His missed tackle rate is pretty low for a defensive back, which is good. And again, I think this is kind of just insurance right now, at least, for some of the injuries. Like Tony Adams got banged up at safety. Michael Carter had a shoulder injury in this game against Buffalo and frankly hasn't looked very good. So I would just kind of think it's insurance and potential depth. Yes, you have guys on your roster like, Malachi Moore and AZ Thomas and Quantez Stiggers. And, Isaiah Oliver is a guy who's played multiple positions before in the past. But we don't really know right now on Tuesday the severity of some of these injuries. So they brought in or decided to bring in a veteran who has some starting experience. You could argue that his best days are probably behind him, but it's not like they're going to just pick out this random UDFA that they had in camp and be like, all right, you're going to be next man up if anything happens. At least for Needham, this is, again, someone who's played in the league and has had some decent success for some years in the NFL. We'll get some updates throughout the week on the injuries. I do know, or I did see rather, on social media, I saw a lot of Miami Dolphins fans talking about bringing Nik Needham back. He spent, 2019 through 2024 with the Miami Dolphins. He worked out recently for the Indianapolis Colts. The Dolphins are a team that has some issues and are pretty injured on the back end of their defense. And I saw a lot of, again, Dolphins fans who were familiar with Needham be like, hey, let's bring him back. He's, been here for a long time. He's at least serviceable. And the Jets, add him to their practice squad. I don't know if he'll be elevated up for the game this week. That might be a little bit more on the optimistic side, honestly, if you were asking me personally. But again, this I think is just a move that you make to give yourself a little bit of breathing room because the injuries can stack up. We've seen it time and time again for the Jets year over year where, you think you're in a good spot at a position group and then it gets ravished by injuries. So this kind of just goes to put yourself in a better position to deal with if there's some more injuries or if guys continue to remain inefficient at their positions. Just wanted to come on with a quick video and give you guys the update there. Good news though, guys, we beat the Jets Central crew with our People Guess game. get in on it this week. Last week, it was us against Jet Central. We came out on top. Can my guys do it again in this next week 2 of our competition head-to-head? It's really easy. Just sign up down below. Make your picks. It's completely free to enter. All you have to do is just pick who you think is going to win each game and by how much. The link to People Guess is down below in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.